class, I'm going to teach you how to use your graphic organizer to create your theme, your quote, and your explanation. You need to have your graphic organizer in front of you and follow along, please. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first example and I'm going to look at the theme. I need to decide what my theme is. You should have done this yesterday, and I want you to double check your theme right now while I am talking. The first question I'm going to ask is my theme a complete sentence? It needs to have both a topic and the author's opinion. It cannot just be something like love or fear or courage or learning lessons. It needs to be a sentence with the author's opinion in it. For example, it could be something about being grateful. We need to add an opinion that being grateful can cause changes for your future. I'm going to be using the giver example that I showed you yesterday, and the theme that I'm going to choose is learning new things is important in life. Now that I know the theme, my job is to go back into the story and find examples of that theme inside the story. I'm going to be looking for things the character does, the character says, the character thinks, the character feels, the different actions that they take to try and find where that character is learning new things and how that character is finding out that it's important. Here's a zoom up or a close-up of the first part of your graphic organizer. My first example that I'm going to find is coming from page 77, and it says this: Jonas is very interested to hear the story of the giver's life and to listen to his memories. I'm going to put it in quotation marks because it is not my words. Remember, quotation marks do not necessarily mean somebody is talking, but it means that you are taking those words out of the pages of the book. I'm going to double check with my theme to make sure this is a good quote. When I look at this, I can see that Jonas is interested. That must mean he's learning. And he's interested in learning about the memories, which is important to the story and important about life. That is a clue. It's a good quote to use. Next, I need to explain. I can explain by saying the quote gives evidence of the theme because I'm not giving a summary. I'm not just telling what happened in the story. I'm not just telling what happened in the quote. I'm trying to connect the quote back to my theme. I'm going to say this. The quote gives evidence of the theme because it shows how Jonas is eager to learn new things like the memories. When I look back at this explanation, I notice the word learn. Learn is a word from my theme, learning new things. If I double check my theme, look at the orange box up on the top of the screen here. My theme was learning new things is important in life. My explanation talks about learning new things. My explanation talks about the character Jonas. My explanation talks about the memories. I can connect my quote and the theme. Use that to double check that your quote and your evidence work. They must stay connected. Let's look quickly at the advanced option and you can see how it works again. In the dinner party example, the only difference here is that we're looking for a literary device. I'm starting with my theme, look at the brown box. Courage is not dependent on gender, and I am trying to find an example of where courage is happening and where courage is happening to both women and to men in this story. So the first thing that I found was I found this sentence here. The 20 people sit like stone images. And I know that this is a simile because of the word like. It was found on page 2. Notice again, I have my quotation marks. Now I need to explain, why is 20 people sitting like stone images talking about the theme and talking about courage? In my purple box, I wrote this. This simile helps the reader visualize or see the party sitting completely still, clueless about the snake, showing both men and women reacting the same way. You know from reading the story that the snake is under the table and these 20 people are sitting like stone images and they do not realize that the snake is there. If you have questions, go ahead and ask the teacher, and I can also answer your questions tomorrow as well.